Superintendent Kwame Henry and Inspector Alric Edwards. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, GQ, and good morning to you, those of you listening via radio and or the internet. I am Alric Edwards, Inspector of Police, and the host for today's program, Policing with You. Today, my guest in the studio is the ever so reliable Superintendent Kwame Henry, the representative on the NEOC and the Divisional Commander for Division A. He will be addressing the newly launched website where promoters can apply online for permission to host their events. This website is just one of the police's responses to COVID-19 to create a more efficient and contactless process where a person can apply, gain permission, and also pay for their permits for events. Please convey salutation to the listening audience.
Good morning, Inspector, and good morning to your listening audience. Always my pleasure to be here. And GQ, happy to see you back. Good to see you back.
Yes, man. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, good morning again. We'll go straight into the question and answer segment of this program. Superintendent Henry, what is the online event permission management system?
Well, as the name implies, it's a system that is web-based, meaning that you access it via the internet, and it's basically an application where persons would go to apply for permission for their events. So you would apply for permission for the event on the website. You would pay for your processing fee because there is always a processing charge. So you would pay for that processing charge online, and you would receive your permission or denial online, right? So it's a contactless system where you no longer have to come to the station with a letter or come to the station to pick up your permission and to pay and get a receipt and all of that. Everything would be electronic. You sit down from the comfort of your home, you apply, you receive your response, and you pay your fees.
Thank you, Superintendent Henry.
Before you continue, if I may interject, how quick is the turnaround time for the response?
Well, we have given ourselves a 3 to 4 day period window for you to get a response one way or the other. So within 3 to 4 days, you should get a yea or nay on your application.
All right, thanks. Inspector?
Yeah, how can people access the website?
Well, the address for the website is www.police.kn. We make it as simple as possible. You can't forget the word police. And St. Kitts Nevis, KN, represents St. Kitts Nevis. That is the country code. So one would ask, well, they got police all over the world. Well, there's no other country has the code KN. KN is the country code for St. Kitts, St. Kitts Nevis. So once you type police.kn, even if you forget the www, you will get the website, police.kn, and you'll be on the website. You get the homepage right away.
Thank you. Really, GQ has it right there.
Yeah. So it works.
So it works. Can you walk us through the need to know of this new website?
Well, it's important that persons are aware of it because the Cabinet has just approved a new policy on events and how permission, or what events are granted permission, and the nature of the permission. And one of the guidelines in that policy is that the application must be made electronically, online. And so you cannot make an application online if you do not know where to go. And so we're now providing the address to this application that the policy says that you must use to get the online permission. And one of the reasons why it was necessary to do this also, we get a lot of criticisms for the efficiency or lack thereof of the approval process. You hear promoters complaining that they would have applied months in advance and they only get their response a week before or a day before in some cases. That is what they claim. And so it's difficult for them to promote because we told them that they cannot promote before they get approval. But if you only get approval a week or a couple of days before the event, then you don't have much time to promote. And so it puts them at a disadvantage. And we thought that we have a responsibility to ensure that these persons are efficient in the organization of the events, and we do not put them at any disadvantage by giving them less lead time to promote the event. So we come up with this guideline that you must apply at least 15 days in advance, and you will get your response 3 to 4 days. So you still have another week to promote. Now, you can apply for more than 15 days in advance. You can apply a month in advance if you wish, and you will get your response still within the 4 days, and so you have more time to promote. Now, there might be times where we may not be able to respond within the 3 to 4 days, depending on the nature of the application and the uncertainty that might go along with it. Let's say, for example, you are applying for a large event the 1st of January. Now, if the 1st of January we know that there is some, and I'm speaking outside COVID now, if we know outside COVID, if we know that the 1st of January there's likely to be something else happening that would impact your event, we may delay the approval. But in any case, we will contact you and let you know that, hey, we cannot respond to you now because we are uncertain about something that's supposed to happen the 1st of January, which might affect your event, or your event might affect it. And so we need to wait until we get that particular issue sorted out before we could give you a definitive. So there might be instances where we cannot respond because of whatever reason, but we will communicate with you the reasons why we cannot approve your thing at the particular time.
Thank you, Superintendent Henry. You spoke of a cost for submission of the application. What is that cost?
It's $20 for now. It's $20 for now, and that is very negligible. $20 for it's just a processing fee. But I think that would be reviewed in the new year, so we might likely see different costs. We would right now it's $20 across the board for all events. We intend to have different costs based on the type of event, type and size of event. So, for example, if you're having a big festival, a big fete, it's unfair to charge you $20. Say $20 that you're going to charge the fellow who having a backyard party.
Sure.
He just inviting some friends. So we are going to look at that disparity between the big promoters paying $20 and the small man paying the same $20. Right. We can put some equity in it.
What are super spreader events?
Well, a super spreader event, and we heard this term a lot in the news. It's an event where the spread of an infectious disease is the risk of the spread of an infectious disease is higher than usual. So that would be informed by the amount of persons, the nature of the event. If it is an event where persons cluster together, in close proximity, the duration of the time that they remain in that close proximity, it increases their risk increases the risk of spread of the disease. So it's an event that, because of its nature, the spread of this infectious disease is the risk of the spread of the infectious disease is higher than usual. So we could picture a fete. Just picture the last fete that you would have gone to.
All right, I understand.
And you see the type of atmosphere that you have there compared to a wedding or church service.
Right.
You see the difference in the atmosphere in those events.
Now, before you continue, Inspector, I'm going to change the protocol a bit for this morning. As we can tell, his allergies is acting up on him. So when you're not speaking, you can put it on, and when you're speaking, you can take it off.
I'll pull on mine.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
We don't want a super spreader.
We want a super spreader. Wait, thank you, Superintendent. You finish right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Superintendent Henry. Let us break here for a word from our sponsors. Upon return, we'll open the lines for calling from the general public. Thank you.
Use your National Bank Visa debit card 5 times or more weekly for a chance to win a $500 shopping spree. Compliments of National Bank. So think twice the next time you want to use cash.
Today we were pleased on behalf of the Ministry of Health and the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis to be able to receive 10 ventilators from USAID, parts which were made right here in St. Kitts from Harrow, and we were also grateful to be able to receive from the people of Taiwan, the government and people of Taiwan, 4 ventilators and 3,000 rapid test kits, all in aid of helping us to continue to fight against the COVID-19. We were also grateful to receive from Her Excellency, the High Commissioner of Canada, Ms. Sherry Truss, and the people within the diaspora, specifically those within Canada, some cleaning supplies as well that will go a long way in aiding our fight against the pandemic as well. And so we just want to say thank you to all of these who have contributed in whatever way. And the Ministry of Health continues to be vigilant of the fact that the government cannot do it all alone. And so we are thankful for every contribution, whether great or small, as we continue to fight COVID-19, but also as we continue to improve the health services and the health care to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you. The Ministry of Health was very pleased today to have accepted from the Government of India a gift in the form of pharmaceutical and other medical supplies that would assist us with our fight against COVID-19. We are truly grateful that India would have reached out and asked how they can assist, understanding that we all need to be able to help each other. And so we want to just say a profound thank you and show our gratitude to the government and people of India for this very kind gesture. And we look forward to any other way in which we can continue to work together, our two countries can continue to work together. I know in accepting the gifts on behalf of the Ministry of Health, the High Commission would have also alluded to other support in which they would be able to gladly provide to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis as well. And so this, though a small gift it may seem, it's actually a lot more than what we have on display here, and it will go a long way in helping us to be able to fight our fight against COVID-19. So once again, we just want to say thank you to the government and people of India.
My name is Omar Chin. I'm a small business owner by the name of Nightlife Barbecue and Grill. Location is right in front of the Silmax movie. I just thanking Social Security to come on board in this time like this now. You know, we have a COVID-19 relief fund supporting us. You know, it's a good thing to come on board. Like our Social Security just come across on board and just, you know, helping them out in this time. You know, it's a very good thing. Asking all the people around who have small businesses can join Social Security. It's a very nice thing. Most people who travel from foreign to come in St. Kitts, come live in St. Kitts and do business in St. Kitts, join Social Security. Thank you, Social Security, to be with us in the time in need.
Visit our offices and sign up for our self-employed coverage. Berrode, Bastair, or Penny's Estate, Nevis.
Online payments now available for employers and the self-employed. Pay your monthly Social Security contributions via online banking at your convenience 24/7, 365. Safe, reliable, secured.
Social Security, because you deserve a future.
People are living healthier and longer lives. Families are growing from strength to strength. Things are good now, thanks to Social Security. But the reality is, in order for the fund to remain sustainable, we must begin the conversation about Social Security reform. It is our responsibility as a nation to make sure that Social Security continues to exist for generations to come. Social Security, because you deserve a future.
My name is Chef Larry Monrose of the Royal St. Kitts Hotel, and my healthy dish today is crushed avocado caprese on toast with...
Do not have a card, but I go online, I apply. Can the information be saved to the system without my not paying?
Right away.
Yeah, so I can walk in and pay?
No. You cannot walk in.
So that's what I'm asking. If you would say without me not paying.
No, if you cannot pay at the time because you realize that you don't have your card or you don't remember your number, the application will be saved and you could always go back. The system will send you a link with for the payment page where you could always go back the next day and go to that link and pay, because we will not be able to approve it without the payment being made. Okay. So if you do not pay right at the time when you apply, and you not in a position to complete the payment process, you could always save your application and go back. The system will send you a link via email where you could always go to that link and get the payment page and complete the payment process next day. And if you don't do it next day, you will get an email reminder. It will send you another email reminder telling you that, hey, if you're interested in the application still, please pay by this time, or else your application will be deleted from the system. So you get 48 hours, I think, it would give you to complete the payment. And you will get email reminders every 24 hours. And then it will delete the application if it's not paid. But the application cannot be approved. And you cannot walk in and pay, because that would defeat the whole purpose.
Yeah.
We're trying to eliminate the traffic in the station, persons coming to pay money and coming to pick up passes and those sort of things. So it has to be strictly electronic and online. So if you don't have a card, you could ask someone to pay for it for you.
Oh, let me take this opportunity to plug. You can get a loyalty platinum card from the cable.
That would work too.
That can work.
Thank you, Superintendent Henry. Thank you, GQ.
There are a number of options for cards these days.
Thank you. And this platinum card, it is a Visa debit card, because in Taiwan,
I think it's a MasterCard.
It's a MasterCard. It's a MasterCard. Prepaid card.
Yeah,
you know?
those cards.
You just don't have the extra added fees, those annual fees and those monthly fees. You know, the only fee you pay for is just uploading your money, and that's it.
Yeah, because I don't want to stray too far, but in Taiwan where I studied, you wear these kind of cards. You put money on top of them, and you use what is on top of them. You know, and it is, you can use it anywhere you go.
It's a similar.
On the train, anywhere.
Same principle. Yeah. Same principle. Thanks to the cable. Yeah. Same principle.
Yeah, it's a prepaid card, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, sirs. What kind of event can person expect to be granted permission for, and for the duration of this holiday season?
Well, we are encouraging outdoor events with numbers not exceeding 150. So up to 150, that is considered a large event. That is our ceiling, our maximum number of persons we would allow. So if you have an event and you could keep the numbers and the event still remain profitable to you, keep at 150, then we would grant that. For indoor venue, the maximum that we would grant is 100 persons. So once you keep the numbers to that and have such that where you could still observe social distancing, we would grant those events.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there an event that you cannot apply for?
No, you could apply for anything. Just submit your application and it will be reviewed. The policy now requires, and this is in line with the COVID regulation, the COVID bill that would soon be gazetted. The Commissioner of Police, in consultation with the CMO, would make determinations as to which events would be granted approval based on a number of factors.
So if I want to keep an event for the Christmas, and I am expecting about 20 persons, I have to play for the commissioner for event in my home, just a dinner.
20
persons?
No. And again, currently it used to be that you have to apply for all events. Now we have modified that a bit, where if the event has less than 25 persons in attendance, then you don't have to apply.
Okay.
So you start to eliminate the volume of applications coming in.
Okay.
If you have a small event, 20 people, backyard, dinner or luncheon, you don't have to apply. And we have a lot of those for Christmas. So it's sort of cut out the hassle of having to apply. And wait for a response.
May I ask you to put on your headphones, sir? And with your permission, whenever you're ready, the lines are open.
Yeah, you have a caller?
Not at the moment. The lines were ringing a while ago, though. But I just want to let the public know now that the lines are now officially open. and we'll be entertaining your calls. So, are you ready for our first call?
Yes, sir.
Let's take this line 1. Good morning, and you're live.
Good morning. Your program is very, very informative. Thank you for that.
Good morning.
But I need to find out one thing. What about a home Christmas lunch, a family lunch? What do you think about this? Now, I'm a senior citizen, which is one of them that would go to it. So I just want to know what you think about it.
Well, we still would expect persons would comply with the COVID regulations. You do not have to apply for permission to have that event if there is less than 25 persons.
Less than 25?
Less than 25, you do not need to apply for permission.
Uh-huh.
But we expect that persons will be responsible and still have the protocols in place at that. We have sanitization station or ensure the person's hands are sanitized and you wear your mask when it is possible to do so. You cannot wear a mask if you're eating, but when you finish eating and you're just socializing, as much as possible,
you can put on the mask.
Put on the mask and maintain the social distancing.
But do you think that it's safe?
Except that if they are from the same household, if they're from if everyone in that event
no, it wouldn't be from the same household.
Right. So once persons are coming from different households, we would not advise that you drop.
Well, this is why I'm worried about even a luncheon, because people from other households are coming.
Right.
They're young people who go out at night.
Right.
So they've gone to open spaces.
Before. Yes.
And then come now to the luncheon.
Right. And so that is why we expect that persons will still observe the protocols. Wear your mask. Keep your hands sanitized.
I am scared. I'm really scared about it. And
you could avoid it if you can.
Well, I would like to, but
have them deliver.
there can be a lot of opposition if I don't go.
I know.
But I prefer to take my opposition in that case and just stay home.
Right.
So I just thought I'd put it out to you, so maybe you could elaborate on that fact for me during your talk.
Right. Thank you. And
thank you very much.
It's a good point. Even though you're not required to apply for permission for events under 25 numbers, it doesn't mean that the event is safe and you could throw all caution to the window. The risk is still there, as the lady just indicated, that there are persons from different households, persons who would be visiting areas where that could be considered high risk. If there are young people at that dinner, they might have been to a party or to a bar the night before, and then they come to the dinner next day or the luncheon the next day. They're bringing there to the luncheon whatever they would have picked up elsewhere. And so you have to guard yourself against that and ensure that you wear your mask, keep your physical distances where possible, and ensure that your hands are properly sanitized. And keep your hands off your face. That is important.
Do you want to take another call or you have a question?
Sure, sir.
All right. Line 2, you're live and good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sinclair.
Hey, morning, sir.
Right. And good morning, Mr. Henry and Mr. Francis.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Lovely program. Policing with you. Well, I am going to lead you policing with police. Now, I heard on ZZ News a while ago that there is a fugitive on the run.
Yes.
And police are asking for our assistance. My question is, I don't know where he escaped police custody, but how come there is a loophole around a police that the police haven't seen it to block it up? That somebody can escape police custody. That's my question for you. Thanks for listening. I listen out the ear.
Thank you. Well, we have regulations governing these how police handle prisoners, and so that matter will be investigated. I cannot speak to it because, of course, there is an investigation that has to be undertaken, and so that investigation is ongoing. So I cannot really speak to the circumstances surrounding that. The police officers who are responsible if whatever the investigation leads, the appropriate action will be taken.
Thank you, Superintendent Henry. Are there any more callers?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, can I?
Yes, they are, I should say. Line 3, haven't tried you for the month. Okay, we lost line 3. Back to line 2. Lost line 2. Let's try line 3 this time. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Morning. Thank you.
Good morning, Henry. How are you?
Morning. I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. I really didn't have any fear of COVID around right now, but somehow that fear has now instilled in me. And I am saying that I was walking without fear or without favor. But you said something yesterday at your press conference, the COVID briefing, which caused me to think a second time. Is the mask mandatory is in effect as yet?
Is the mask?
I know the packet in the house, it was supposed to be gadgeted, silent gadgeted.
Yeah, the mask
I
is
don't know if
mandatory.
it's complete.
Yeah, it is mandatory. We are being guided by the emergency regulations. Those are still in effect, expired the 31st of December, and they require masks. It is still compulsory.
Okay, because you goes around and you see people without masks, even at some bars. One of the places that I looked at, and I had it out with a couple guys there actually, is Shawarma King over Frigate Bay. I mean, I'm not afraid to call a name. And when I heard you said yesterday that two person came off of a ship and then were taken back to the port by the agent. Now, it simply means that the people who are supposed to protect us are not doing the work. Because, I mean, if they jump the fence, I could see, but how could I be in charge of an area and allow someone to just walk out when I know the danger? It simply means that I don't want my work. Because what I have done there is to endanger the whole nation. Because you do not know what those persons had. Yes, you may test them after and they haven't find out, but you don't know what they had or what they have. And, it might have been, people might have been in contact with them because everybody walk out, but look, nothing is here. One of the persons I would really, really like to see on the COVID task force with giving ticket or making sure that mask is Rose. Say what you want to say about her. I think we could ease her from the topic because she is a person who are very upfront and straightforward. And I am saying that if the mask is a mandate, we have to learn to adapt it so that whensoever that it starts spreading, we would not have much fear. Everybody likes to speak about constitutional rights, but I do not have a constitutional right when there is a crisis and the government passes a law and asks me to protect other people. Yes, my constitutional right is to maybe if I want to go by the sea and without wearing masks, it's fine. But as long as my right is to protect other people, I should adhere to that. Right. Because my right is not to protect myself. My right is to protect other people. So I am not infringing on your constitutional right. Everybody going to come with this constitutional right. And that is why I said, those are what causing problems. My constitutional right. You don't have a constitutional right when there's a crisis and you're asked to adhere by it. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. And you're right. You don't have a right to infect me. And so by refusing to wear your mask, you're exposing me to that risk. Sure. And so everybody should wear the mask so that we protect each other. And yes, the caller mentioned that he's now fearful of moving around. He used to be comfortable, but based on my pronouncement yesterday, he's now a bit fearful. And that is what we've been saying all the time, because there is always the unknown. If you notice the language that we use when we are announcing cases, we are saying we have 3 known cases. Because there might be cases that we do not know of. And we might only find out when we see people start coming in with symptoms with the virus. And so we do not want people to go around thinking, well, the borders are secure, or the protocols at the borders are tight, and anybody who come in and they're positive, they're going to be quarantined right away. So there's no risk of me, who are 10 miles away, being infected. What about those persons who are coming in that we do not know about yet? We might find out about them a couple of days after they are here, after they would have gone X number of places. Right, and then should we be so unfortunate that one of those persons or a couple of those persons are positive, there is Now, the risk of community spread, because those persons did not come through the traditional means, and they were not contained as per the protocols. And so the whole public now becomes at risk. The incident that the caller made reference to, this is a cargo vessel. Some persons are thinking that it is the cruise ship, or some people are making people to believe that we are referring to the cruise ship. The cruise ship, there was no incident involving the cruise ship that is currently in harbour. The crew remains on board. We don't have any evidence that anyone has left. This is a cargo vessel that was docked at the Deepwater port. And cargo vessels have been coming in all the time, even through the lockdown. They never stop. But the conditions under which they operate is that the crew do not leave the port, do not leave the boat, the ship. They will put the cargo on the pier, and our local people go and pick up the cargo and deal with it. But they are not allowed to leave the pier or to mingle with the local population. Now, this particular instance, somehow 2 of them got off the pier, went to a local area supermarket, and they were only detected when they returned. Now, they were tested and they are negative, at least for now. It could have been different. That is what we are saying. We do not know who are coming in and what they have, and so we have to be guarded. Now, if they were positive and they go in an area where other people are, and those persons who are complying with the protocols, wearing the mask, keeping their hands clean, keeping the distance, even though those persons are positive and they come in the area where you are, chances are you will be safe because you're doing the things that keep you safe. Now, if you are not doing the things that keep you safe and those positive people come where you are, then your risk suddenly gets higher. And so that is why we are saying, follow the protocols, because you do not know who the person is next to you or what that person is carrying. So once you're following the protocols, it doesn't matter who the person is or what they're carrying, you will be safe.
I'm glad you took your time to answer that caller. In reference, before we take a next call, in reference to his remarks about people not doing their work in terms of security, he was also making reference to put Officer Rouse in a position like that. Would you say that's a fair assessment, seeing that based on the situation, not only St. but around the world, people have been, how can I put it, finding loopholes to escape security measures that have been put in place?
Well, in terms of the putting Rouse to give ticket, I would not say that it will require that, because that suggests that no one else is giving tickets, so you have to put Rouse in order to give ticket, and that is not the case. The tickets are not available yet, so we cannot give ticket even if we want to at this time. And so putting Rouse there would not make a difference. We still would prefer for people to see the need to do it, see the need to wear the mask and do it voluntarily. Because if we have to give people ticket to do it, people can only do it when you are around. And as soon as the police are not there, they take off the mask, and when they see a police, they put it on. And that's not what we want. We want persons to put on the mask because they feel obligated to put it on, and they see the importance of.
Well, I was making reference to that. I was making reference to the 2 individuals who somehow got off of the port.
Right, and as I indicated, again, that too is under investigation. Of course, the port would have to do an investigation to determine how those persons were able to leave undetected, because the port is supposed to have measures in place to secure the compound so that they know who's leaving and who's coming.
Right.
And so the port would have to do an investigation to determine if there was any breach or any breakdown in the security, so that they could tighten it.
Right.
So it doesn't happen again.
Right. And then we could make a proper assessment after that.
Right.
Instead of casting judgment and saying that someone didn't do their job.
Right.
All right. I think we spent enough time on that, Inspector.
Well, funny enough, that was my next question, and I am happy that Superintendent Henry would have elaborated so thoroughly on top of this situation. I was not listening to his the press briefing yesterday, but I was told by another person that he would have said that, and it was startling. Like, huh? Because if contact tracing, like if the 2 of them had it or have it, because we don't know, because it can lie dormant in your system,
right?
But we don't know if it might spread, and them they're gone home, and God knows what they're doing today. So in the next 13 days, today a lot of people have, and it's starting, it's frightening.
It is.
Right, and you mentioned contact tracing. Yes, that process is ongoing too. Because, like I said, the CMO's office takes these things very serious. Whenever there is any risk, there is any possibility that something could have gone wrong, they do the contact tracing and ensure that persons who might have been at risk, they are removed from the rest of the community.
Gentlemen,
So
I think
contact tracing is ongoing.
I think we've spent enough time on that. Let's get back to the calls. I see they're trying to get in. And we're wrapping up the program at 10. I just want to also give the public a heads up that we'll be joining the opening ceremony, the groundbreaking ceremony, if I should put it that way, of the solar farm, the power solar farm that's happening this morning, right?
Central Bank.
I think so. I have to get that clarified before I confirm and mislead anyone.
Okay.
But we'll be bringing that live this morning. Just a minister presentation, so please do stay tuned for that. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, GQ. Good morning, Alwick and Inspector Henry.
Yes,
Henry,
morning.
Morning, sir.
You know me well.
Yes, sir.
Alwick know me well. I'm my man, right? I called the show last week because I have a problem now in the circus. Henry, I clean the circus, you know.
You do a good job.
I clean the circus. When everybody dirty, I clean. I call in to make a complaint, and a police officer make me feel so funny about her. And the inspector, instead the man being a supervisor because he wear khaki, I'm very disappointed in the guy, you know. I believe I can remove myself from this program. You know why? We look for police to be police, not just in the station. We look for police to do the job on the road. And when a citizen don't care how stink and dirty he could be lying, call them and matters. They don't tell him about up no station. The station could want to come down the circus. Simply, I want to tell you, Henry. I clean the circus. You got a few gentlemen from St. Paul's come with cane. You know, it's like the lemon be ready to be there selling jelly.
Yes.
Every day they come there, they eat cane, they throw it in the culvert, a small culvert. From the drain we come from right up 4th Street, where all the garbage come. Citizens pass it daily, especially for shower rain. All the buckles, everything that people litter up there come down there. Me, the clean it. I call the lady to tell the young man I want his name because me want to carry him in the court. I don't want to carry him in the court. You know she turn up leave me. And he telling me about police. That fellow is very arrogant. I hear many people talk about the young man, you know. Very arrogant and pompous. Henry, I believe I don't call that today. Yeah? Have a good day.
Don't give up. Continue what you're doing. You're doing a good job.
Yeah, I second that. You know, he cannot just give up the fight because of one experience. You know,
because sometimes we need people to keep our feet to the fire. You know, if we're not told them we're doing things wrong, we don't know that we're doing things wrong sometimes. And so when there's someone who would always to pull us up and tell us, hey, you're doing this wrong, and you need to do this better, then that's the only time we will get better. So you need to continue, Jam.
Yeah, John, I encourage you to continue though.
We have a caller?
Yes. We have a caller?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Line 1. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, GQ. How are you today?
I'm doing okay, man.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning, Superintendent and Inspector.
Good
Gentlemen,
morning,
everyone on the call this morning speaks of very much bright concern. However, the first caller in particular, and I used to feel that way too, had no fear, is so impressed about the task force, what they've done, have been so informative. Today, I walk around with little fear, not feeling secured or safe. In spite of what took place and you pronounced yesterday on the radio, the briefing, I still haven't given up. I have no doubt all you're doing a good job, tremendously have been doing so. That's what I think has protected us.
Right.
But when these things happen, it makes a lot of people who may not have enough faith to be doubtful. I am not doubtful, but I feel a little bit insecure and not to safe walk in the street.
Well, if you follow the protocols, you should be safe, you know, because
that's correct.
Remember, the protocols are intended to prevent the spread. And
That
so
is
once
correct.
you're following the protocols, even though the virus might be present, the chances of it affecting you would be significantly reduced. So,
But when they have people who breach our COVID regulation and conduct, it makes me feel somewhat uneasy. For example, some weeks ago, last month, a woman was found in the bar, and nobody know how she came in here. I hope that is still under investigation. It makes me feel like another Matthias Ross, May the 13th, have then not landed Cessna in the Red Square in Germany, come to St. Kitts, and is at least definitively is depleting our success of where we are today, that we are so recognized worldwide.
Right.
However, I still want to continue listening to you all and feeling good and being informed.
Yes.
One last note. I am in particular is very much concerned about the security at the Deepwater Port. I saw something about a year ago where there was a cruise ship was anchored away from the marina at Port Sante. And a man tried to get on from another ship. The security officer stopped him because he didn't have an ID appropriately to be recognized. He was somebody who came from the ship that was anchored. Someone came out that he took the ID from that person, put his thumb over the picture ID, show it to the security, and allow him to go in. Allow him to go. I believe that we really need to, at least in depth, see and feel pleased and judge what is right for me to be employed as a security officer. There must be somebody who has some control of that, because I've seen a lot of things that, of course, could be avoided. One of the things I heard the medical chief of staff says at the briefing, someone asked a question, and he still hasn't answered the question. He didn't defend it. But you know what his response was? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Sorry. We cannot go on living like that. And obviously, it is something that I definitely haven't accepted. Gentlemen, have a good day. And get home safe. At work, be safe as well, too. Goodbye to you all. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Carlo, for your contribution.
I think Carlo would have made some good points, but as I say, the protocols were intended to protect us. And so even though things may go wrong in terms of people coming through the borders undetected or entering our spaces undetected, then if you are following the protocols, then you should be safe. And that is why we promote adhering to the protocols. That is the only way you're going to remain safe.
Anything in closing, because I realize we are approaching 10 o'clock. So.
Well, I usually end my presentations with admonishing persons to adhere to the protocols. But today I would add that the new events application website is now live. We encourage persons who are applying for permission for any event to go online, www.police.kn, and just click on event permissions and just complete the form. It's as simple as filling out a form. You would find that for certain events, it would require you to upload your tax clearance certificate. So if you are having a large event, festival or fete, those would require some tax clearance from the Inland Revenue. So you must get that tax clearance certificate and you upload it. One requirement for all events is that you upload your COVID compliance plan. And that is simply a plan, a document, where you indicate to us how do you intend to comply with the COVID protocols at this event. What sanitization measures would you have? What process you have for enforcing the wearing of masks? What do you have to log the names of the persons who are coming? That type of thing. You have to tell us how you intend to do that so that we determine whether or not your event would be safe. So, final word from me. I must again give credit to the financiers of this application, the UNDP, through its Carib Secure project. We had a whole show here on Carib Secure. They're working closely with the police forces in the region. They came aboard and they sponsored this particular project, along with the UK government and the Ministry of National Security. We've also have participation from Flow and Digicel, in that they have zero-rated the application so that persons who are using it, especially Digicel customers, if you're using this particular website on your mobile device, it will not be any charge to you. There's a mobile app for police officers to scan or to access the database of events. That mobile app has been zero-rated by Flow and Digicel so that police officers could use the app without any cost to them. So we want to say thanks to those partners who made the whole project possible. And in closing, I want to remind persons to wear your mask, hand sanitize, and maintain your physical distance.
Thank you, Superintendent Henry. Thank you, GQ, for being the reliable moderator that you always have been. Thank you, Superintendent, for being here. I know you're a very busy man. I want to thank the management and staff of ZIZ who allow us the opportunity to come here every Thursday. I want to thank the callers who call in and contribute to this program daily. And I want to single out Jam Dong. Jam Dong, your contribution is very important. Continue calling. Do not be disheartened. For the person who think about calling, I encourage you to call because your contribution too is very important. I want to thank you all. Thank you all, and see you guys next week Thursday.
And for me, in closing, the ceremony, I have confirmation now. I can. No, I didn't get the confirmation in terms of the location, but I understand it's a groundbreaking ceremony of the Bastia Valley Solar and Storage Project.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay. All right. So that's what's happening this morning. It's going to be live at 10. So it should be on now. You can see it on our YouTube page and our Facebook page. It's also going to be on television as well. We here at radio, though, we'll be joining when the ministers will be making their speeches. Minister Powell is scheduled to make a speech, and our Prime Minister as well is scheduled to make a speech. So we'll join them at that time. But the program is now live. If you turn on your television, you should see it. It's about to start. Let me do a quick check here for myself as well. And do keep it locked to our programming. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. And thank you to all our callers. And once again, big shout-outs going out to the sponsors of the morning show, well, and also of this program, Policing With You, which is National Bank.
Did you know that National Bank offers very favorable terms and low interest rate to switch your